Hello photopiller, Rafael, the bar here. In December we will be able to photograph the last supermoon of the year. Mercury will be at its greatest western elongation, one of the best times to be when photograph the planet. We also have the Geminids meteor shower, the tail of the Milky Way, the Ursids meteor shower, and two conjunctions of the moon with the planets, with Jupiter and Saturn. Also, as always, at the end of this video, I'm gonna share with you 3 of the best photos that you guys have submitted to the PhotoPills Awards and that we featured in November. The last supermoon of the year will occur on December 4th or December 5th, depending on where you are on Earth, on your time zone. So don't miss this last opportunity to photograph it aligned with an interesting subject you like. So, based on the supermoon rise or moonset directions, plan your shot. For instance, if on December 5th, 2025 at 5:39 p.m. I am at the red pin position here near Pregonda Beach in Menorca, where we go during the PhotoPills camp, by the way, I'll be able to see and photograph the supermoon rising and position itself behind the amazing Cavalleria Lighthouse in Menorca. The shooting, according to our top panel, the shooting distance is 5.5 kilometers. The moon height, this is the height of descent of the moon above the blood pin, above the ground level, where the blood pin is 1.7 meters, so I'll see the lighthouse and half of the moon behind it. And the moon size, how big the moon will be, you have it in brackets on the top panel, 53.8 meters, and this diameter or apparent diameter is also represented by this blue band you see here on the map. So as you see, the moon will be larger than the lighthouse itself, which is amazing. Oh, and another important thing, what's the natural light at the time of the shooting at 5:39 p.m. Let's swipe the top panel to panel number 3, and here you know that the sun elevation is what determines the natural light. In this case, the sun elevation is minus 4.35 degrees at the time of the shooting. This is the beginning of the blue hours, so the moon will be amazing, powerful, yellow and nice, maybe even pink. It is a super cool shot, something similar Anthony Clare captured in this shot, but with the moon just behind the lighthouse. Oh, by the way, if you wish to learn how to plan your moon shots, watch this video. On December 8th, Mercury will be at its greatest western elongation, which means that the planet will be further away from the sun, giving us great conditions to view and photograph it from both hemispheres. Mercury will shine in the early morning sky with a magnitude of minus 0.4, so it will be visible to the naked eye. Before sunrise, you'll find it low in the sky near to the sunrise direction, which is the thick yellow line you see here on the map. So if you want to plan your Mercury shot, just use the sunrise direction to plan it. You can't miss it. The Geminids meteor shower is expected to be the most powerful meteor shower in 2025. It is peaking on the night that goes from December 13th to December 14th, and over 100 meteors per hour are expected at the peak. And the good news this year is that the moon, with a phase of only 35%, will be under the horizon for quite a bit of the night, allowing us to really photograph and enjoy the show. The radiant of the meteor shower, or the Geminids, is that spot in the sky where meteors appear to originate will be due east, south, southwest. It is represented on the map by this gray line that's moving when I change the time. It is also represented on the time bar, so you know how high above the horizon is at all time. On the map you have the direction of the radiant at all time, and if you tap on the night AR, if you are at the red pin position, you'll be able to visualize where the radiant is at all time, and you know that you can change the time by swiping your finger on the AR screen. So you want to use the radiant to plan your meteor shower shot with the AR, it's super easy. And one last thing about the Geminids is that they are visible from both hemispheres, although they are more powerful in the northern hemisphere. And if you wish to learn how to plan your Gemini shot, watch this video. The new moon is on December 20th, and as you know, in December the galactic center is not visible, but around the new moon it's a great time to photograph the tail of the Milky Way, the thin part of the Milky Way, where it hides also amazing phenomena. And you can photograph it from both hemispheres, the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. For example, in the northern hemisphere, I have the red pin in Menorca next to the Cavalleria Lighthouse. You see that I can get a really nice panorama of the Milky Way above the lighthouse from this shooting spot here from the red pin. I can capture the thin part of the Milky Way above the lighthouse, which is pretty cool. Let's check the AR view and see. This is the first crossing point of the Milky Way above the horizon, and here you have the arch of the tail of the Milky Way, and dying here. So as you see, it's pretty low in the sky. So in this shot I just planned, the lighthouse is just under the highest point of the arch, which is amazing. Now, if I go to the southern hemisphere, for example, if I go to Namibia, which I love it, let's see what we can get here. Well, in the southern hemisphere, you see I can get the Milky Way pretty horizontal, but due east and completely vertical, nice, and almost horizontal, but good diagonal due southwest, which is also very cool. And also, let me check here, places when it's completely straight or vertical. You see on the top panel, the picture of the Milky Way is telling me that the Milky Way is straight up. And if I tap on the Meteor, I'll see the tail, it just goes above my head. It goes on the other side. You see the core is under the horizon. You have the horizon here. So the core is under the horizon, but we can just capture the tail above our heads. But that's in the southern hemisphere. And you should learn how to plan your Milky Way shots step by step. Watch this video. The Ursids meteor shower is peaking on the night that goes from December 21st to December 22nd. And around 6 meteors per hour are expected at the peak. The moon, with a phase of around 4%, will be under the horizon for the whole night, allowing us to photograph the Ursids. Despite the slow number of meteors, they are pretty amazing too. Once again, the radiant of the Ursids is represented on the map by this gray line that changing the position when I change the time. It's pretty cool, so you know where the radiant is at all time. And as always, you can always tap the AR view, the night AR view, and visualize where the radiance of the Ursids. And you see the Ursids is a circumpolar meteor shower. So the radiant just describes, goes around the Polaris here. Very nice. And the Ursids is a meteor shower that's only visible from the northern hemisphere, unfortunately. In December, there will be 2 cool moon-planet conjunctions. On December 7th, the moon will be in conjunction with Jupiter, and the moon phase will be 90%. Pretty large. And on December 27th, Saturn will be in conjunction with the moon, and the moon phase will be 43%. On both hemispheres, you'll find the moon-planet conjunctions where the moon is. As you know in PhotoPills, the moon position is represented by this thin blue line that is moving when I change the time on the map. So where you see the moon, there you also find the planets. You cannot miss them. And now let's see some of the best photos that we submitted to the PhotoPills Awards and that we featured in November. The first one is a fantastic star trails panorama over Barciense Castle in Spain, photo by Ivan Ferrero. The second one is a stunning photo of a flamenco dancer, the moon and an airplane aligned in Tenerife, Spain, photo by Jose Juan Medina. And the third one is a cool shot of the sun aligned with the top of the Eiffel Tower in Paris, France, photo taken by Emmanuel Bombardier. Amazing photos, guys. Thank you so much for sharing and inspiring us. And now, if you wish to learn how to plan and photograph each one of the events I've shared, in this video, I invite you to download and study well our super detailed astronomical events photography guide. I'm gonna leave a link to the guide in the description of this video and the first comment below. Download it. And as always, if you like this video, give me a like, subscribe, and see you next Wednesday in another video. And remember that you have the power to imagine, plan, and shoot legendary photos by PhotoPillars.